guys, Jeanette here with Bay Creek Boutique. Today we're going to be talking about a vintage chest of drawers that we purchased a while ago. We're going to be refinishing this for a client for her daughter's room. We're going to walk you through the process of possibly you buying a piece to refinish for yourself. The things that you should notice and the things that should, not scare you off, but let you know that there's going to be a little bit of work involved. The first thing that you want to notice is all the details. You want to make sure that you get those nice and clean. On this piece, a lot of them have a lot of chipping and flaking paint. That's okay. We're going to get in there with a sandblaster. We're going to get it nice and clean. If you don't have a sandblaster, you can always use sandpaper, an X-Acto knife, or a putty knife. Just get in there and get it nice and smooth. You want to pay close attention to the details because it's going to make all the difference in your finished piece. If you're taking the time to actually refinish something, do it right. Don't skip any steps because it will show. There's a lot of paint buildup in here, so you want to get that out. The next thing that you want to notice is the drawers. You want to make sure that your the drawer guides. You want to make sure that the drawer, I keep always forgetting that name. It's a drawer guide. You want to make sure that they work. On this piece, they're perfect. They work. They're all good. A bonus that we realized when we bought this was the original hardware. It's gorgeous. You can either leave that or you can paint it, you can stain it. There's a ton of different techniques to make this really stand out. We're going to paint this a cream color, so I think these might actually work just as is. Another thing that happened when we moved this is, this is a chest of drawers, so it's two pieces. It came apart here. So it sits right back down on the dowels that are there. But we're going to go ahead and put some glue in there. We're going to put something heavy on top so that it's very secure. Another thing that you want to take notice of, but you don't let it scare you away, these can be wobbly. That's okay. We will put some wood things back here, some furring strips. We will put some furring strips back here and it will be secure. So stay tuned. Guys, Jeanette here with Bay Creek Boutique. We are going to start sanding this dresser. We're going to start by removing all the hardware first. So here we go. Alright guys, I have a pneumatic palm sander with a 220 grit sandpaper, which is pretty fine. We don't want to scratch the wood, so you don't want to use anything too coarse. Here we go. Now, another thing that you should know is always keep your sander flat. Don't try to do this to get something out quicker because it will burn the wood. It leaves indents that are almost impossible to get out. Alright, we finished sanding all the flat surfaces, so now we're going to get into sanding the edges and some of the detailing work that I can get to with my hand. This part is really important. We always could strip this piece down to bare wood, but since we're repainting it, we're not going to do that. We might paint it a dark brown color before we do the light color so that when we distress it, you'll see the dark, but we haven't decided yet. So you just want to get your surface really smooth. You just want to make sure that you don't feel any difference in textures. We're still working on this dresser. I wanted to show you guys the difference in a dark waxed set of drawers and then these aren't waxed yet. I saved these to show you guys how to do it. So let's start. First thing I want to do is I'm going to sand my piece, smooth out all the paint textures. I'm going to use a 320 grit sandpaper. Not that one. And we're going to go around all the edges. kind of sucked about this piece is that it had been already painted, so when I'm sanding, you're seeing almost 3 paint colors come through. And ideally, you like to see just the original wood, but that's okay because she wanted this piece to look really worn. So. Looks good. Another thing to remember when you're using a sander is to not keep the sander in one place too long. It'll actually burn the paint and it'll start to gum up because it'll, I don't know, it heats it, I guess. Ready to wax our piece. It has been distressed in all the areas that I wanted. It feels really smooth to the touch. I'm such a furniture feeler. Everywhere I go, every piece I finish, I always make sure that it feels very, very smooth before I start to seal it. I usually seal my pieces with wax. I prefer Johnson's paste wax. I like it because it's cost effective and it doesn't yellow over any of the paint colors that you'll choose. So if you wanted to paint something white, it would stay a pure white. Other waxes don't give you, all those benefits. So all we do is we rub it on, rub it really good. I used to use a brush for my waxing. I bought this off Amazon. It was pricey. I think I paid, I don't know, $22 for it or something. And I liked it, but I felt like I couldn't control how much wax I was using. I was wasting a lot of it. I was taking a lot of it back off. Now when you wax, sometimes less is more. You don't want to gob it. You want to seal it. So you just put it on and kind of wipe it back off. It'll feel a little bit tacky, but that shouldn't last too long. Alright guys, we have clear waxed all our drawers. The reason that we clear wax before we dark wax is because the clear wax will seal your color. If you just go right to dark wax, it actually will deepen your color. It completely changes the color. So always clear wax first, unless you're going for that look. The dark wax that I use is Annie Sloan. I've tried to make my own, and it didn't come out the way I wanted it to. This is a lot smoother. It cures very hard. It's safe, so I'm really comfortable using it. I mix it with mineral spirits. I do this because Annie Sloan wax is, it looks like tar. You can't even scoop it. It's so thick. So this makes it a lot more usable, a lot more spreadable. Spreadable even a word? I don't know. That's okay. So I've mixed it. I don't know if you can see that. It's got mineral spirits in there. So let's go. See how it just deepens the hue a little bit and it gets in all those little cracks to make your piece look even older. You can always add more and take some off, so don't freak out. And that's it. And then, like I said, once you're done, and maybe you think like, oh, that needs a little bit more, then go back and add more, but don't go crazy at first. Alright guys, for these details, I do like to use my brush. I use my brush because I can get into all of those really the crevices that you can't reach with the rag. So, my brush is really floofy. See, some of these spots are really hard to get. So you really got to work your brush in there. This color is really popular right now. The cream with the dark wax, people love it. Let's see. What we're thinking. My wax is already starting to harden up, so this is going to be a little darker than the rest of it, and I'll go back through and fix that. And I'll show you guys how to do that once we're done waxing all the drawers. It's easy. First time I used this, I panicked at this part. So let's leave that like that for now. These flatter surfaces to me are way easier to work with. See how much more definition it gives? I mean, this is completely smooth, but it just shows all those awesome cracks and age spots that you love to see on these kind of furniture pieces. Okay. Last one. There you go. Okay. Alright guys, so I wanted to show you guys one more time a comparison between a piece that has been, or a drawer that's been dark waxed and one that hasn't. So that's your difference. like I said, mixing this with mineral spirits is going to make all the difference with you using this. It makes it usable. The first time I used it, like I said, I was really upset. I mean, I think I wasted the whole can because I just found it so difficult to work with. Alright, I wanted to show you one more trick with the dark wax, how you can remove it. You take clear wax. Clear wax will completely remove. Show them this. Can you see this has dark wax on it? It's actually completely dry. I left this here because I wanted to show you guys how to fix that if you run into an issue like that. So all you're going to do is use your clear wax. See it coming off? Can you see that difference or not really? Okay. Well, now that we've done that, we need to put it back on. But I just wanted to show you guys how you can fix this if you run into an issue that you find you've put too much on, or maybe you hate it and you liked it better before you waxed it. It's all fixable. No need to panic. Okay. Now, this one is going to be a little more difficult because all those details. But let's see what we can do. Maybe we should try to blow that out with a blower. Yeah, I need something smaller to get in there. I thought a Q-tip would work. A lot of people will just leave that. I mean, a lot of people like the way that looks. Alright, I have learned something doing this video that I'm going to share with you guys. The last time I waxed, I didn't wash my brush. You should wash your brush with either lime soap or a dish soap. Usually I can use dish soap and it works good. But what happened is the wax is all flaky. So I thought my dark wax had dried out, but it's in my brush. That's why all those flakes were all over my piece. So that's what I get for being lazy. So now we go back to the old way, the good old rag. But I want to show you guys how this goes on because it doesn't go on as flaky as it did on the drawer. Actually, it doesn't go on flaky at all. Here you go. And then we can go in after and we'll rub some of that out. But what's really cool about this stuff is it gets into all your crevices, so it makes all your detail work really pop out and stand out. A lot of people now are painting these little appliques all different colors. So if you painted your piece white, you could paint all the details, I don't know, any color you wanted. You could do them green, whatever. But see how much smoother that is? It's not supposed to be flaky. And the way that I was getting into all these cracks, oh, let me show you. I was using a Q-tip. This one's kind of beat up, but that's okay, it'll still work. And then you just put it around your rag. Gives you a little point, but it's soft. You dip it. And that way, a brush will do this. So, I mean, if you're going to be dark waxing, absolutely invest in a brush. I mean, I might even have to wait until I wash my brush out and let it dry before I finish this. We'll have to see if this is going to work. Plus, I think with a brush, the marks that you get, or not the texture, the pattern, I guess, it's a lot more natural. I mean, we're getting in there though.